Welcome back, guys. It is Amanda Lynn Baez, and you're listening to Bay with a Z podcast. I actually have a very, very special guest. She's so near and dear to my heart. It is Miss Sima I.
Oh, and she said the last name right.
Yeah. But how do people say? How did they used to say it?
I don't know if it was. I don't know if I'm going to give it away too quickly, but you're a former student of mine. But I don't remember if it was your class or not. But for some reason, there was a whole sect of children that called me Miss Afay. They totally anglicized me. They totally made me I was like, girls and boys, no, it's Afay. So yeah, I don't know if that was your group or not.
Maybe because for those of you guys obviously don't know.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I can call her Sima now, but I met her when I was 11. And it was my first year going to a school in New Jersey, Washington. I was 11 at the time, and it was her first year working. She was you were 24, right?
Yes.
I want to say 24.
Full circle.
Right? I'm 24 now.
I know. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much. I still feel 19. It's kind of weird, but
you still look 19.
Thanks, right? I think it's the Puerto Rican genes, honestly.
I'm half Puerto Rican myself, so.
What?
How
did I not know that?
I mean, with the last name Afay, who would, right?
Yeah, word.
Nobody on the island was named Sima Afay. So.
Yeah. But this beautiful woman here was, she was my guidance counselor.
Yes,
she was. Yeah, you were the guidance counselor, and you're still there, right?
Yes, I'm on year lucky 13, which is wild.
Yes. 13 years already?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I can't believe it myself. So this is my 13th school year at Washington School.
Wow.
And you guys were my test subjects because I could say it now. I don't think I had any idea what I was doing at the time.
Thank God you didn't say that in the interview. Wow. You were your guinea pigs.
Yeah. I mean, you know what it was going to school, you only learn so much. And then when you get thrown into it, it's a whole different world when you actually have to deal with real people and real problems. And, it's not like a textbook and they don't tell you, there's no textbook answers for some of the things that you encounter. So.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. Sometimes books aren't even the best. I don't know. I've come to realize
I agree.
Are not always reliable, It's kind of like the news, pretty biased sometimes.
Pretty biased? Sorry.
Clapper.
I know. I'm so cheesy. It's so bad. It's like working with children. I think I'm the funniest person in the world because they laugh at my jokes.
I love you. And I love it, though. I love how you are yourself.
I wore my Friday earrings for you, too.
Stop. Wait, no. You got to bring them closer. Oh, my God. Friday? Stop.
I wear them on Fridays because I'm a whole brand of extra.
I need that energy. I just need Friday earrings now.
Yeah.
I need every day of the week.
It's a thing now. I do weekly announcements since we've been virtual. I just decided on a whim to do it, and now it's become a whole production. Mm-hmm. I'm currently at 214 followers on YouTube. I'm pretty much famous.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Not really, not at all. But yeah, I do announcements and I wear the Friday earrings, and it's a whole thing now. I ding a xylophone. I have
I saw that. That reminded me of, was it Greece where they had that?
Yes. Look, it's very retro. That's where I stole the idea from.
I dig it.
Yeah, I did it when we were actually at school. I would do the announcements and I go ding, 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 and I would give them a little spiel. So I figured I brought a little bit of Washington School through this whole virtual nonsense.
Yeah, how has that been? Doing your job virtually, because you are a guidance counselor. Are you scheduling students in that would like to speak with you, or how does that work, especially when they're at home? You know what I mean? So when do they have that privacy to have those
Right.
conversations with you.
No, you're 1,000% right. It's been crazy. It's almost, I feel like it's like my first year all over again. Because I feel like, I got to a certain point where I'm like, oh, I've got this. I know what I'm doing. And then we hit the pandemic and we were told it was 2 weeks. And obviously we know that we're almost at a year. And I was like, okay, I need to think quick on my feet. So I would say from March to June, which is kind of like just trying to like get by and trying to manage and answer emails and phone calls. It was more like helping the kids log on to a digital platform.
Yeah.
But then when we got to September, I was like, I need to retool how I want to like show school counseling and how I want to like show my platform. So I made like a whole website. I mean, it's nothing like fantastical, but like I made a website. Every week I do like a different like counseling lesson on like a different topic, whether it's about anxiety or sadness or, lessons on kindness. So I kind of do one of those every week. I do my weekly announcements every week where I kind of talk about the news that's going on at school, though we're not physically at school.
Yeah.
Because part of my job is, trying to promote like a positive climate and all those kind of things. So I do that. I started doing lunch bunch. I don't know if you remember, you went to lunch bunch a couple of times.
I did go to your lunch bunch a lot. I was like, this is so fucking cool. Like just being in a group of girls and we're just.
Yes. I loved my girls groups. I loved it.
Is it still like a girls group thing or is it like open to?
Now it's just all genders.
Yeah, that's why. You know what
I mean, it always was that way. I will be honest. It was, again, like to go back to when you were at school and it was my first year, I didn't know what I was doing, or I had an idea, but like, again, when you put it in practice, similar to this virtual stuff, sometimes things stick and sometimes things don't stick.
Yeah.
So you were in my lunch bunch. And then I think for some reason your group ended up being all girls. So I just ended up morphing into a girls group. And I know we had talked about this before, but like, I just crack up every time I think about it. I was like, and let me show this girls group Degrassi episodes.
Yeah. I'm not saying it. It didn't. It's not like it traumatized me. I mean,
you're enriched now because of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So moving to Kearney, but previously we were living in Parsippany, and my mom was a single parent. She was raising Monica and I. Obviously, Monica, my sister.
Of course.
We couldn't afford cable like before we moved to Kearney. So once we saw Degrassi and then we had cable, I was like, oh my God. There's Degrassi on Nickelodeon.
It goes there. It just goes there.
And I was like, whoa.
Tagline. It just goes there.
Drake is in it. He's in a wheelchair. There's people partying and drugs. And I was like, this is education.
Wild. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to put out to the audience, though. I did not show them all the wild episodes.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. I didn't, I swear. But I really didn't.
You didn't. I think no. I think you showed the one where, what's her name? Claire Page. I forgot one of their names, but anyway, it was when she was meeting someone online, and you were just like using the internet and like. Yes. I think that's one of them.
Yeah. Okay. That would make sense. I would show that one. Yes. Because I'm like, I can't remember. Now I was like thinking back. I'm like, why would I show children Degrassi? Although
no, they have good lessons.
They did have good lessons. And I feel like at the end of the day, like these are the things like kids are watching anyway. So I was like, and now friends, this is a good segue to talk about internet safety. And I remember I showed you guys, I don't know if I showed your group this, but I showed you guys, I think She's the Man. Did I show it to you guys too? And I was like, we're going to talk about women empowerment and how Amanda Bynes' character, she wants to be on the soccer team. See, like in my head, it was always a good thing. And so like one of the teachers was like, oh, did you give them permission slips? I was like, yes, I did.
Yeah, of course I did.
I sure did.
Evelyn would have allowed me to watch it anyway. So.
Yeah, your mom seemed pretty cool. So yeah, I guess I didn't think of all, like that's the thing about like being in your first year. You don't think about all those like nuances and intricacies into a position like that, especially working with children. You're just like, oh, I have little sisters. We watch things like this. This is okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I digress as always. I went down a rabbit hole. I was like, let's talk about Degrassi.
No, the thing is, you were real and you were genuine. You were yourself, and that was just that's just how you taught us, and that's perfectly fine. It made us much more open to you about talking about other things, and we trusted you.
which like that means a lot to me. It really does. Like, because to me, I always like wanted that for the kids that came into my room. I wanted them to feel that it was like a safe environment. I wanted them to feel like they could be themselves. Like I had kids that like come out to me like in my office, and I'm like, okay, I didn't know if they were expecting me to be like, oh my gosh, you're gay. And I'm like, what? And I know. I mean, like sidebar, I've been like harassing Amanda because I was like, I need to be done by 8 so I can watch RuPaul's Drag Race. So clearly everyone knows I am like legit okay with that.
You were so with it. Yeah, I know. It's right now. The time is what, like 7:22.
Oh please, you're fine. You're fine.
We're good.
Then I was like, oh my god. I'm like, is there something wrong with me that I'm literally like?
No.
I live for Drag Race Fridays. Even when my boyfriend goes, I was like, I need to go into work. I'm like, but Drag Race, like,
I cannot miss it.
I cannot miss Drag Race.
That is what I do on Fridays.
I live for.
With my Friday earrings.
Yeah, I usually don't wear the Friday earrings. I should. See, as always, I digress. But no, it's super important to me that the kids felt comfortable. And like, there's so many kids from your grade that I'm still connected to, and that just, it means a lot. Or just kids from other grades. I do have a rule, like usually I don't add them on social media till they're in college. Because I don't know why I feel like there has to be like a separation of church and state for some reason. Yeah. I'm like, oh, like, not that, I mean, I don't really post a lot of things on my social media, but I feel like I need to have that separation for some reason.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But it's so nice to see what you guys are doing. It's so nice to hear like what you said, that kids felt comfortable coming to me. Like that means a lot.
Oh yeah, no, 120%. I felt like you were like an older sister, and we would just tell you, we just felt comfortable. You weren't like, we didn't look at you as a typical like teacher figure that's like gonna judge you or like, you know, not to tell, you know what I mean? No, you were mad cool, mad chill, and no, you were honestly one of the, it was my first year going to Kearney.
I didn't know that until you told me that. So that
you didn't know that till now?
No, I really didn't. I just assumed, I guess like, cause I was like a scared chihuahua my first year. So like, I felt like I was like the brand new one. So I had no clue that you and Monica weren't at Washington.
You were new too.
Both entered Washington at the same time.
Together. And I'm now 24. I was the same age. I was the same age you were. And I can never do what you do. I don't know how you do it. Honestly, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I love helping people and hearing them out, but I feel like my mental, it's so draining, you know, that sometimes you tend to forget about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I don't know if you knew this, but when I came out of high school and I went to my first semester of college, I majored in criminal justice and minored in psych. So I wanted to do something with, I wanted to become a criminal psychologist.
Oh, cool.
And it just didn't know.
Oh, what I think you're doing now is so cool.
Thank you. I love what I'm doing now too. Like now I live in the city and I work at a studio and like, it's a lot of fun. Before criminal, that's shit. I don't know.
Boring.
Sorry. So it's a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading.
It's not your aura.
I cannot. I don't see myself at some crime scene helping some animal. Person, serial killer. I don't know. I don't see myself doing that. So I feel like I'd lose my mind. And besides, I don't like the system whatsoever. So I was like, why would I work under that? You know what I mean? I just can't. Right. No, sir, no ma'am. Yeah, what made you want to become, a guidance counselor? What made you want to help people? What did you study? Where did you go? Just so the listeners could, maybe we have a younger audience too that's like, oh, I'm going to college and I want to know what you do. So
I love that. I love to share my journey because it's wild because like I even have kids that have come out of Washington who now want to be school counselors because of me. And I don't mean that sound like self-serving. It's just, that's like the dream. You want to project to others and you want them to see that passion. But any hoodle, my journey. So I went to Rutgers, Newark, and I did my undergrad in psychology and I totally fell into that. I was, I feel bad for kids. You go into college, you're young, you don't know what you want to do.
Not at all.
It's almost unfair. I really, truly believe that. So I took all of my requirements that I had to, and I just kept on taking psychology classes. So that's kind of how I fell into psychology. And I realized really quickly that unfortunately you can't really do much with a psych degree, friends. So just like heads up, with your bachelor's degree, can't do diddly squat.
Now you can't, really can't do anything.
Really can't. And so I immediately, my senior year was like, I'm going to go to grad school. So I decided to go, and I was either going to apply to do school psychology or not even school. I was going to do counseling or psychology. So even then I was like, I don't know what I want to do in life. So I'm putting out like my like grad applications, and then I got accepted to all the places I applied to. Yeah, that's
wow.
But I know, whatever.
Wow.
I'm so proud. But no, I really was proud. But I ended up going to Montclair. I was between Montclair and Fordham, but I couldn't afford the Fordham life. It was just double the price of Montclair, and I got a great education from Montclair.
Good.
And they have a great education program. So I ended up going to Montclair. And then when I was there again, was like, don't know what I want to do with this. I just kept taking classes. And then I just fell into school counseling. And here I am. And I also recently got my master's in school administration because my next goal is to be a principal.
Ooh.
No, I told you that.
No, you didn't. Oh my God. I can totally see it. And you obviously would deserve it.
Yeah, I really want that. Yeah, I really feel like that's like where I see me. Like, I don't really see it being that different than what I'm doing now, if that sounds weird. Because I feel like, I mean, yeah, I'll have to do a discipline and like kind of like school politics and nonsense and, you know, academics.
Yeah, and maybe budget. Do you work on budget? Principal goes.
I mean, I understand it to an extent.
Yeah.
By taking my classes in it, but I mean, again, you're not gonna like learn until you actually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like, I don't know, life led me to circumstances that I just fell into school counseling. And another reason why I kind of did it was I didn't feel like I had the best experience with school counseling in the past. I didn't know what they did. I didn't know how they serviced kids or how they helped. So I kind of wanted just to be that person for kids, because I felt like, especially, I was like one of those kids that just didn't really talk a lot, surprisingly enough. You would never believe that. I was kind of like a wallflower. I didn't really talk a lot. I had friends, but I was the kid like you never really noticed. And I kind of wanted to speak for those kids too, because I feel like those kids are shy and you need that person. And the kids that need help, like with their other stuff, like if they're having family problems, I want to be that person for everyone. I want it to be like, not like you go to the counselor because you have problems. I feel like that's like a huge thing. And I'm like, no, I see everybody. So that's how I ended up there. I know. It's really
Oh my God. I don't know if it's because I'm getting my period, but I'm like so emotional.
I can't cry because I will cry with you.
I want to like tear up. Oh my God.
I know, but it's I know I sound so hokey, and like I say it all the time. Like, I just feel blessed to be doing like work that I'm proud of. I feel like everyone doesn't get that opportunity. I'm so happy you found your passion, and I could see it like in your posts and the way that you talk about your work. And that just, it's so beautiful when you see people doing what they're meant to do.
Girl, you're going to make me cry. Stop. I honestly had, I was always, what would you have described me as an 11-year-old? Because I don't really remember myself being 11. Very little things. I don't know if you remember though, but.
I do. I remember you and your sister vividly. And I just remember you guys just being really nice girls and so sweet. And I just remember, I mean, I don't want to get too personal. I just remember you guys being just so beautiful, like just like beautiful kids inside and out. And I just remember I felt like you didn't feel that way about yourself. And like, that was like so heartbreaking to me. I was like, she's gorgeous, and she's gorgeous inside and out. And like, I remember there was one time you were having a hard time with that, and we can talk about that, privately.
Yeah.
But I just, I try to spill all my
Oh God, don't spill no 11-year-old Amanda beans right now.
No, but like, I feel like a lot of kids go through that, and like, it made me so sad. But you were just such an awesome kid to have at Washington. You had so many friends. I remember you were just very well liked, and you were just a joy to have.
Oh, Sima. I can't believe I could call you Sima now.
Is that weird? And
so
when
weird.
the kids call me Sima, like the bebes, like when I go onto like my Google Meets, they're like, okay, Sima. I was like,
Miss A, first of all.
Miss A if you're nasty. But like, no, I was like, you cannot call me Sima yet. I don't know why that becomes a thing when you become like in education. When someone calls you by your first name, it's like a curse word. You're like,
it's like disrespectful. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You know, you probably nailed it on the head. I'm like, oh my God, it's like, why do I feel this way? But you're right. It's like a level of respect. And it's weird because I guess like I want them to feel comfortable with me, but at the same time, like not that comfortable, but I feel like I have to always toe that line of letting them feel like they can tell me anything. And then sometimes they'll say certain things and I'm like, I don't know, friends. I think you're a little like, you're a little too comfortable.
Yeah, a little too far. I feel like I never was, you really hit the head on the nail on the head, whatever the hell
whatever she's called.
Whatever you said, about the whole like beauty thing, I guess, as a kid, because I was the new girl. So I felt like all eyes were on me. So I was pretty self-conscious. And that was the year where I'm gonna get a little personal, but like that's the year I like got my period too. Like it was all just so much new shit happening. And in Hudson County, things are very fast paced. People are very fast paced. So in Parsippany, I lived in the suburbs. Things were mellow. It was a little more different. So to be in that fast-paced environment and like what kids were talking about when I was 11 or 12.
I know, sometimes I'm too shook. I'm like, no.
I'm like, I didn't know what that was. And you just said what? Right. And I'm like looking it up. And then I started getting grounded my first year, a lot more going to that school. Cause like, I just knew so much more, I guess.
Right. It's a lot to absorb.
Fast-paced.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So the whole beauty thing, like I remember just being like the new girl, and then like most of the girls in the grade were sweet. I'm not gonna say any names, but I remember one just made me feel like, like she was kind of jealous, but I didn't know she was jealous. I just thought she just hated me.
Kids never know that at the time.
Yeah. So but now I look back, I'm like, damn, she was jealous of me because I was new and I was beautiful. You know what I
mean? You are effervescent.
Oh, my nose is like itchy. I'm like, sorry. Oh my God, that just makes me so happy. And to know that you read that off me is crazy. Like, what are you, a psychic?
I don't know. Or maybe I'm just like, maybe I'm good at my job. I don't know.
But yeah, no, Monica and I were like tied to the hip. Like,
and the both of you are just such gorgeous beings inside and out. So it's just wild. I feel like, I don't know like why kids sometimes don't know that at the time. Again, because then they could be coming off as like conceited or, you know, you feel some type of way. But no, you guys were just beautiful souls. So
there's a difference. Happy. There's a difference between being confident and being a cocky cock. Okay.
Yes.
So we try. I guess my sister and I, like, I would like to say I was humble. I just
1,000%.
I just wasn't aware, you know what I mean?
Which is, I think, even makes someone more attractive and makes them more beautiful, that their outside beauty, yes, like they're outside beautiful, but they don't even realize it. So yes.
I just had some haters and I was just like, not, I sometimes I just couldn't even see that either. I was just like, why are they acting like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
But now with your profession, you know, being a comedy, like, you know, enchantress, amongst other things, I'm sure you have many, many people that love you. And I guess there may be some haters too, but I don't know about that.
Honestly, haters are my motivators. Haters.
Ooh, you have a shirt that says that?
No, I don't. I need a shirt that says that.
Yeah.
I've had people hate on me and I'm like, yo, keep my name in your mouth, please. Like, please spread my name. I don't care. Like, I don't know.
That's something I'm so bad at. Even at my age, I don't like, I still struggle with criticism. Like, even though I tell like the kids all the time, I'm like, nobody's perfect. Everyone's allowed to make mistakes, but for some reason, like, I feel like I can't make mistakes. So it's something that I work on too. So
Sima, you are, I like to think of us as we are our own, oh my God, I just lost the word. We're like our own canvas. We're all different. Why do you have to be the same? You know?
No, you're so right. Like that's why I think what's so beautiful now about this generation is that being weird is so on trend.
Oh my God.
It's so on trend where like, I remember being in high school and I was so weird, or at least I thought I was weird. And I was like, nobody likes me, or like, nobody understands me.
Looking for approval.
Yeah. You know what it's so hard, especially at that age. I feel like they probably still go through it. It's like, you're always looking through someone else's eyes for approval. And especially with social media, like thank the good Lord that social media wasn't really around till I was in college, because that is so difficult. Like I have babies that are in like second grade that have, you know, Instagram or Snap.
What?
It's wild. They're just they have too many things at their disposal. And I'm not judging parents because I get it, you know, but it's like, how do you find that balance of managing how much content they're getting from the internet and then shielding them from that? Because you also want them to be somewhat internet savvy.
Yeah. But I felt like my generation in particular, we were like half and half. You know, I remember playing outside, having no cell phone, and just using the house phone. Like, yo, call me after 9 p.m. because you don't have Verizon.
Yes.
My mom's gonna kill me. My mom's gonna kill me. Like, oh my God. And like, once I got a cell phone, my mom like cursing me out because I texted too much. Like that period. I just remember after like 13, 14 years old is like when Facebook started coming out.
You're so lucky. Like now everyone doesn't have that.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I'm so happy you had the experience of both.
Because my kids will too. I swear to God.
You best believe.
I don't want my 7-year-old having an iPhone. Like I don't know. That scares me. But then I try to think about the pros of it. You know, a lot of kids, that goes to my next question though. Like, what is the difference between the kids your first year that you taught to the kids now?
I mean, I will say, I do feel like, and I might be biased. Sorry. I
can't.
I'm sorry. I do feel like Washington school kids are a special breed of children. They are so amazing. We have such wonderful, awesome, grateful, and I'm not just saying that, it's the absolute truth. Like, I'm just so blessed to be there. But I feel like the biggest differences I see is with the social media stuff, is like the things that kids are saying that other kids say, you know, on Instagram, like in a group chat or something like that, or on Twitch or on, you know, like I said, like on Snap, or like there's been other iterations, like I don't know if you remember Ask FM, like there were just so many different.
Oh my God.
The worst thing to happen.
I remember that. I remember Ask FM. I remember I had a problem with that.
I don't know if you would come to me with that, but I remember kids would come to me, they're like, oh, this person responded to like my question on Ask FM. And I'm like, well, why are you doing this? Like, why are you going on an anonymous platform where people are going to be mean? You're giving them
an open door. Yes. Like you're giving them like an option or like approval to judge you. So I remember this kid, I think it was a boy though, and he was like a year older than me. And it was just like, I talked to him and like didn't talk to him, and it ended up being some kid from Schuyler School that I knew off like MySpace. And he was just like, he like threatened me or something. I was like, what the hell? Who is this kid? And it was anonymous until one day I had a snowball like thrown, and I recognized him. I'm like, I think that's him.
Ask FM.
It was Ask FM. And
I forgot about Ask FM until it just came out of my mouth.
Oh, ew.
Yeah. It was just such a horrible.
It was unnecessary.
Idea. It was unnecessary. And I think that's the problem. Like, I don't know if you saw that documentary on Netflix, I think it's The Social Dilemma or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
And you would think after watching that, I would like slow my roll, like with my social media usage. But like, it's legit addicting. I mean, even though I try not to have like notifications and stuff like that, but like to go back to your question about what I see the difference, definitely the social media. And just like, they'll tell me like, oh, or kids will just purposely put them in these like group chats to like bash them. I'm like, for what? Like, why are we doing this? You know,
like what is the end goal in that? Like,
right. I don't understand. It's like definitely like a herd mentality. It's like, oh, if, you know, we can like mess with this person, like maybe the attention's not going to be put on me, or I don't understand the mentality behind that, because I just try to really peddle kindness. Like that's I peddle. I'm like, just take me up on it, friends. But no, I would say like that would probably be the biggest issue. And definitely, I mean, no, that's always been the same. The girl drama has been the same.
Of course.
You're not my friend. And they use that as a weapon. And I'm like, okay. And then I know it's a big deal. I know it's a big deal because I know at that age, I felt like it was a big deal too. But I'm like, I was like, if someone's not nice to you, why do you want to be their friend?
Yes, you know,
but it's such a hard concept for kids to understand. And even now, I don't think it's ever going to change.
you know what stuck to me, and I think I read this off Twitter or something, but people are going to treat you how they feel about you. So that literally sticks to me. Ever since I read that like 2 years ago, I was like, oh, this guy's not answering my text. He's only hitting me up at 1 a.m. That's what he thinks of me?
No, you're right. That's right.
Or even a girl, like a woman friend, just putting you to the side, or maybe like not going to like a birthday dinner of yours for the third year in a row, and you're just like, you really don't care about me.
No, but that's a really important life lesson to learn, is to not expend energy on people that don't want to give you an ounce of their energy.
That's right.
I think that's good that you've learned that young. Unfortunately, I feel like I learned that like probably closer to my late 20s. I think I learned, if someone's not giving you that attention or giving you the same amount of respect or giving you the same energy that you're putting into them, I think like the phrase I always think of is like, I'm stuck on something and I know this person's totally over it.
Yeah.
Like, so why am I like letting these thoughts ruminate in my brain so
Why are you making yourself sick? Why are you making yourself feel so shitty?
Yeah, it's not good. It's no good, friends. No.
No, I learned that's another thing about this generation of kids. I feel like a lot of them are open-minded.
Yes, I will say that.
Intellectual.
They're woke is what the kids say, right?
Woke. We're woke as fuck.
Do they still say that, or am I like?
Yeah, no. We still say that, but like we don't want to say that, but we still say that.
Okay, that's gonna say now. It's like done, like kind of like.
We're like, I don't want to say we're woke, but
we are.
We're smarter. No.
Oh, that is something beautiful about this generation. I will say, I feel like there's a lot more acceptance. Like I even remember when I was in high school, like I vividly remember this, like someone like came out in like the Carnian. Oh, I went to Carney High School too. So someone,
okay, I think I knew that.
Yeah, so it's like someone came out in the Carnian and it was like such a to-do. Whereas now I feel like if someone did it, like, oh well, like I think like that's what's great too about this generation as far as being like woke or in the know on like just like political stances about Black Lives Matter, about, LGBTQ plus, all that kind of stuff. Like, I think that's really what's beautiful about this generation. It's just being so in the know and wanting to be in the know and seeing differences and not highlighting people on their differences as much, at least I see.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I lived through way too many historical events with this. But yeah, no, thinking back, yeah, a lot of change has happened. And
yes,
I'm pretty grateful for that,
I feel like it gives you a lot of life experience, maybe something you didn't want.
Yeah, like this pandemic I didn't want.
Yeah.
Or Donald Trump I didn't want.
No.
Don't mean to be political, but
oh no, I mean I'm just throwing it out there. I agree.
I think
I feel like that's obvious.
We can go. I feel like
I'm an anti-masker. Imagine I said that. Wow, we didn't expect that from her.
Oh my God. That's whole nother story.
I just talk forever about everything.
Same here.
It's a lot that you've had to digest over your short 24 years.
For real. 9/11.
I was thinking like 9/11. I mean, it's crazy to me, even when we talk about 9/11 in schools now, these kids weren't born then.
Oh my God.
It's wild. It's like, so now it's like something that's just something they've seen videos of.
It's like the Titanic at this point. Like, what?
True. You mean Kate Winslet didn't make space in the boat for Leonardo DiCaprio? Like that didn't actually happen. That was fictionalized.
I really thought that was like a real romance. Maybe, who knows? Maybe there was a couple on that boat.
There could have been. I don't know. But no, it's like when I think of certain things that have happened, like 9/11, and then thinking, oh, these babies have no idea what this was about, or they've just never experienced that. I mean, now they're experiencing this pandemic, which is like going to be huge, or is continuing to be huge.
God, kids born in 2000 now can drink. They're not even looking at our IDs for once they see 19, they're like, okay. You can.
I've seen that. I mean, I have TikTok. I just don't go on TikTok because I don't want to be obsessed
No,
with
don't download it. Don't download it.
Some people will send me videos, or like they'll screen record it and send it to me. But I'm like, I don't want to get obsessed with TikTok. Although TikTok, I think, has like awesome stuff, like with recipes and hacks and things like that. But it seems really addicting.
You get so sucked in. Next thing you know, you're 5 p.m. you're watching it, and then it's 8, and you're like, what?
That's what I hear from everybody. It just sucks you in.
You wasted 3 hours of your life watching other people doing other stuff.
Right.
No. I try my best to just not be on my phone, but it's hard with what I do. Like, I do comedy, I work in production, I do this podcast, and it's constantly marketing myself, or like responding to emails, or going on phone calls, and just trying to promote myself. And it's all through my phone, it's all through the laptop. So it's kind of hard for me to stay away from that. If I wasn't doing comedy or any of this shit I'm doing right now, I definitely don't think I'd have any social media besides Twitter.
I have a Twitter, but I don't use it.
I love Twitter. That's like my news.
You know what it is? I will be honest. I had to stop watching the news at a certain point. I don't know if I'm just uber sensitive or it was too much for me. Like, especially when the pandemic like first hit, and then we're dealing with like Trump's presidency. I was like physically ill. I was like, I cannot.
It was so disgusting because all you heard was like all these different. I mean, I understand people have their own opinions, but like the news, oh my God, it was just, I felt like I was in some doomsday shit. Like, I was like, why am I, I haven't watched the news since probably.
I watched all the election stuff.
Yeah, I watched the election, like debates and stuff. Yeah, I'll like have a look because my roommates are super into that, and they like watched it on here like it was some movie theater. So I was just like,
on the big screen.
Yeah, we actually. Oh my God, I should show you. I'll show you this picture, or this drawing after we get off this. But yeah, it's so funny. But that's the only time I really watch the news. I feel like Twitter lightened it up a little bit. It's like a lot of comedy. So I would read the comments and it would just crack me up. Like, it'll be the most craziest shit on the news, and it's like a joke. And I'm
so you need it though. I feel like it's good for your mental health. Like, for me, it was good for my mental health not to watch it. Yeah. But I feel like it's also good for your mental health to be on Twitter, and you're kind of like, okay, like, it's real, it's like deep, but LOL.
That's why, that's why I like comedy. This. I love comedy because we could shed light on bullshit. We shed light on the darkness, and it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. So, I always try to joke, like, for example, when I was younger, I didn't know, I was always surrounded by like Caucasians growing up. I even lived in Germany for 5 years. So like, you didn't know that? I thought you knew that. My dad was in the military. Monica was born in Würzburg. She was born in Germany.
Oh, international, baby.
Yeah, I was born in Texas. I don't know if you knew that either. So we just traveled all over the place. And growing up, I was always surrounded by Caucasians all the time. And like, I spoke German as a kid, and my parents spoke English, and trying to learn Spanish. And I hit that certain age where I had like an identity crisis. I was like, what am I? Living in Parsippany, it was
I was the same way.
I was like, what the hell am I? And I just remember the Spanish teacher coming in. It was first grade, Spanish teacher, a white woman teaching us Spanish, first of all. So she talks about Mexico, and then all of a sudden I think I'm Mexican. So I'm telling all these kids I'm Mexican.
Tis I.
I'm Mexican. I eat Taco Bell.
All like the basic generic things that people think is like Mexican.
I have Goya in my house. Like, I just seriously thought I was Mexican. And I made a joke about that. I did a whole routine just to shed light on, that white isn't superior, like defining myself. And I just made a funny joke out of it.
Right. But that's just, I feel like that's higher level. And I think a lot of good comedians have to have that intellectual level to kind of hit those types of jokes. Yeah. Because like, you're leading people through a story but a story that they can maybe resonate with.
Oh, and learn.
You were telling me that, like, I was like, oh my goodness. I said, I was like, I felt the same way. I was surrounded by a lot of Caucasian people. It was like embarrassing for me because I felt like no one was named Sima. No one obviously was like Sima Afai. I'm like that's me. But it was I think that's the reason why I kind of like hid in the shadows, was because I didn't want to be noticed because I was just so outwardly different. Like I'm half Iranian, I'm half Puerto Rican.
You're so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I had no idea you're Puerto Rican too.
It's like, so when you were saying that, I was like, I definitely resonate with that, because you just want to be whatever is considered what's the beauty standard.
Yeah.
And, you know, to kind of like hinge on, like, we're taught for some reason that, you know, not saying, I think there's plenty of beautiful white people.
Yeah.
But that's not the only beauty standard.
Yeah.
So,
I felt whitewashed. Like I felt like I had to straighten my hair.
Yes.
The girls had straight hair. Even like the, you know, Brazilians at school had straight hair. And I'm like, oh my God, like this curly hair, like I feel too different. I feel like like too much. But that was honestly the beauty of it. And that's why some people just envied me, because I had curly hair and like tan skin. And it was, now I embrace the fuck out of it. I don't care.
That's right.
But it's just so crazy to think about, like, especially the way I spoke. People be like, "Oh, you talk white," and I'm like, I sound educated. Is that what you mean? Like, why is white educated? Like, what does that even mean? I sound like me. That upsets me so much, and I could just.
That's a whole nother podcast episode.
Yeah, for real. But oh my God, just growing up, and I'm just so happy it's out in the open now, and people are talking about it, and police brutality, and just all this. I don't want to say good stuff, but all this stuff, like, just, it's great that it's finally out in the open.
It's real. It's not things that have been swept under the rug, or things that it's like considered, oh, that's the elephant in the room, or we don't talk about that. Like, these things have to be talked about. These things have to be addressed in order for positive change to occur.
Exactly. Which I think that's over the 24 years of my life. That's what happened. The whole gay marriage being allowed, and
I remember being in New York when it was legalized. I was living my best gay life.
Yes.
I mean, still to this day, you know, gay bars are my favorite place to go to.
Gay bars. I was just talking about this with my cousin. Gay bars, gay
the only places to go to.
The best music, the best vibes, best people. They make you feel like included.
They lift you up like a queen. You just go up there and you're like, you're beautiful. And you're like, oh, yeah. They don't want anything from you. And you're like, I am beautiful. So yes, I'm just so sad. My favorite gay bar in New York is closed. Barracuda. I'm so sad.
Wait, forever?
Yeah, I think forever, because of the pandemic. I know, so many good spots. I mean, not just Barracuda kind of got hit by all that.
Damn. I live near House of Yes. I think they're still.
Oh, I love House of Yes.
I live right near there, so.
You
need to come here for lunch.
I will. I will go for lunch. We could pass by House of Yes. We could Vogue. I'm
so down for that.
I can't do any of those things, but I'm going to give everyone the illusion that I can.
You can do it.
I can, and I will, after a good, fun lunch with you.
Yes. Well, Sima, it is 7:56. I don't want you to miss your show.
I know.
I'm pretty sure I'll have you on again. I definitely want to do
I'm like trying to weasel my way back already. I'm like, but can I come back?
Of course you can. This is going to be called Settle Down with Sima, and we're going to talk about mental health and just feel good type of shit. And I would love to have you on again. It would be a lot of fun.
You know, hopefully everyone likes it too.
Yeah, no, they will. They will love you and your Friday earrings.
Yes, I hope so. And even if we talk on a different day, I'll just wear the Friday earrings just to be me.
Beautiful.
Thank you for having me. You just made my Friday so much better.
Thank you for coming on. Like, this is crazy.
I feel blessed. I literally was talking you up to everyone. I was like, guys, I'm going to be on my very first podcast. I am so important.
It's crazy. When I talked to when I was working at the restaurant and I started getting picked up for comedy and all these gigs and working in New York City, and the teachers would come in. I think it was Miss Warnock, and you're still friends with her. I don't know her first name, but like I remember her saying it was either her or Miss Turca, like Miss Sandstone now her name is. She works at the high school. And they were both English teachers. They would be like, Amanda, we're so proud of you, but when you were a student, you were really lazy. They said you just didn't want to do work, but you were smart, but you were lazy. And I'm like,
you didn't find your passion yet.
Exactly. Look where I am now. I write all the time now. So
right. If your writing was just about comedy, I'm sure you wouldn't have been as lazy.
Oh, no, not at all. I didn't want to write some Hamlet shit. What is that? What is that?
Yeah, who wants that? Nobody.
Well, thanks, Sima, for coming on Bay with the Z podcast. I love you, and we will have lunch, and yes. I'm sure all my listeners love you.
I hope so. I love them already.
Guys, catch every Sunday, sometimes Wednesdays, Bay with the Z podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and now SoundCloud too. I even added SoundCloud in there. Yeah.
You're everywhere.
I am everywhere. I'm trying to be everywhere. Peace, Sima. Love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.